Hello everyone, I am Matt Williamson. How is everyone doing this fine day? We have free agency right around the corner. By this time next week, there will be signings. There will be hot and heavy action. Wave 1, the tidal wave of free agency, will already be kicked in. So many of you asked me, I did one already. Many of you asked me to do a pre-free agency live mock draft simulator show. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to operate under these parameters, which, hey, if you think this is crazy, let me know, but I don't think this is outlandish at all. We know that when the draft starts, there will be moves made, of course. Free agents will come and go, etc. Resign, restructures, etc., etc. So kind of taking the approach I'm expecting and that I think that they would do and that I would do, I'm going to say, for the sake of this, the Steelers have restructured Patrick Peterson and Allen Robinson at much friendlier deals. So they're not going to, I don't know if they will or not, but they could get cut. I think they want to bring those two veterans back for some intangible stuff, as well as blocking Peterson's versatility. And hopefully they play less and less and less as the season goes on. So I think that very well could happen. I'd be shocked if you guys fight me on that. I think by the time the draft rolls around, I'm not saying I predict it, but I kind of do. But for the sake of this, I'm going to say that they re-sign two of their own, Marcus Golden, which pretty much eliminates outside linebacker edge from the equation. He had a really good year. And another defensive lineman had a really good year was Watts. So I think that they restructure Peterson and Robinson, or I'm going to say let's pretend that they restructure Peterson and Robinson. They re-sign Golden and Watts. And then they go out and they sign three free agents. Center from Tennessee, Brewer, who's not a superstar, but he's going to be familiar with this scheme. Ascending player, he's probably $6 million a year. That's not crazy. A safety from the Colts, Blackman, a player I like quite a bit. He's probably a little less than that. I'll say he's $5 million a year, something like that. And then an off-the-ball linebacker, which, Omar Khan really made pretty prevalent at his conference at the Combine that they're worried about. And I have him signing Drew Tranquill, who's not a top-of-the-line guy, but he'd be very, very useful here. I'm guessing he's 7.5, maybe even 8. So I don't think that's insane to say they add a center, a safety, and an off-the-ball linebacker who aren't superstars, but are quality additions that would have been very much happy to see them last year and would probably serve a lot of use. So let's go into this draft thinking you have a starting center, you have a second safety, you probably have your best linebacker depending on Holcomb's health. You kept Golden and Watts, Peterson and Robinson return. And you probably still have plenty of cap room to do other stuff, by the way. So that's a aside. Folks, BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-the-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or your mobile devices. Head to BetOnline today to become part of the team, and remember to use promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, all one word, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. So there's a bunch of different mock draft simulators out there. I'm going to use Pro Football Focus for this one. They just, post-combine, just redid all their rankings and whatnot. So the first 19 off the board, I'm just going to spit through these super quick. Williams, May, Harrison, Alt, Neighbors, DeJean, Mitchell, this is the corner, goes to Tennessee, Adunze, Bowers, Fuaga, Murphy, Arnold, Wiggins, Daniels, which I think would go way earlier than 14th, the Saints. But anyway, he's off the board. I wanted to make sure he was off the board because I'm not going to do a mock draft with Jaden Daniels sitting there at 20. Fatanu, the tackle from Washington. Newton goes 16. Dallas Turner goes 17. Fashanu goes to the hated Bengals at 18. And Jared Verse comes off the board right before the Steelers pick. So best available are Jackson Powers-Johnson, the center that we all adore, but we signed a center. I didn't know that was going to come up that way. Latu, a really good edge out of UCLA, but we're pretty much booked at edge. The next couple are offensive linemen that are really attractive to me, Latham and Mims. Graham Barton's out there. He would also fit the center need as well as some other spots. Brian Thomas Jr. is a player that I love. He's available, and I don't know that you can afford to take that luxury. J.J. McCarthy's available, which I don't think he will be, but we're not taking him. I'm just going to kind of ignore that. And Tyler Guyton is available. So we do have 3 trade offers, but to me, I pretty much told myself if J.C. Latham is on the board, he's a sprint to the podium guy. But I'm going to look at these trade offers super quick and see the Texans are at 23. Do we want to roll the dice? I don't want to go far at all because I want to hold my breath that Latham's still there. But I could live with Mims. So I'm going to offer 20 for 23. And I really want to pick up a second day pick here. So I'm going to go 85, which is the third rounder that they have, as well as 124. And I'm going to throw in 238 so I don't have to make that pick. So I'm offering 20 and 238 for 2385 and 124. That's enough for me to not move off Latham, but hope he's still there. So I'm offering that trade. They accepted. So there we go. Resuming draft. Boom. And they took Jackson Powers-Johnson. The Dolphins then took Mims. The Eagles take Latu. And we are doing a dance and running to the podium, taking Latham. Now, these mock draft things are fun, but you can get crazy with trades. We did one trade. I'm going to put the kibosh on any others because you could do that all day. But we have a lot of picks now. We're up on the clock here at 52. We got our offensive tackle. Roman Wilson is available, wide receiver from Michigan, who I adore. Rook Ororo, I just destroyed his name, but he is a upside defensive lineman that would fit in really, really well. Keon Coleman, a big receiver, I can't believe still there. I'm pretty interested in him. And again, remember we picked pretty soon again. Junior Colson's the best linebacker. Xavier Worthy, the speedster. I think I'm just going to take the big receiver here. And Keon Coleman, just because he didn't run great, is not enough for me to say he can't be a factor as the Steelers' big third receiver. So I'm taking him, but I did consider the D lineman from Clemson. Boom. He is on our squad. We are up again here. Andrew Phillips is looking at me. He's a corner that's feisty and athletic from Kentucky. Corner is absolutely our biggest need at this point. Jalen Wright, Jeremiah Trotter, Blake Corum, Jerrion Jones is another slot corner I like quite a bit. And Max Melton. That's the one I was scrolling to make sure we saw. I'm taking Max Melton. This is one of my favorite day 2 corners. Athletic. Really athletic. Takes the ball away. So far we have right tackle, we have a big receiver, and we have a do-it-all corner, but he can, line up in several spots. We still have quite a few picks. We have 85, 120, 121, 124, and 198. So I would not be opposed to taking a second corner, and Phillips is still there. That seems a little crazy, but it's something to consider. Who are some other names here looking at us? Darian Taylor Demerson is a really athletic safety. Vikai is a safety I like quite a bit. He's more of an in-the-box banger. I'm not loving what's looking at us here, to be honest with you. Brownlee is another corner I like quite a bit. Tyke Smith, Cole Bishop. Cam Hart is a big outside-the-numbers type corner. I think I'm leaning towards taking yet another defensive back and trying to just attack this position to no end. So I'm going to take the best one on the board here in Phillips. I know that's back-to-back corners, but hey, I mean, are we counting on Rush and Trice? And I'm not counting much on Peterson. I mean, so because of the trade back, I'm going to go back-to-back corners here and take Phillips from Kentucky. Big fan of him. Now we are up again. The best players on the board are running backs, which I don't think is something we want to get into. Cooper Beebe, to me, is a really good player, but he's a pure guard. Do you want to throw that into the mix? Not so much. Leonard Taylor is there at defensive lineman. Jordan Travis could be our quarterback. He's coming off an injury. This might be the spot to do that, to get that rookie quarterback. I would love to add a defensive lineman, but there's not one staring at me here. I stand corrected. There is one that I like quite a bit, and that's Mason Smith from LSU. I am taking him without hesitation. They had him a little bit down on their ranks, but he is very athletic. He fits the mold exactly for what they're looking for physically, so I like that pick quite a bit. Now, again, we're up at 121 here now. We have 124, and we have 198. Who else are we looking at? Like, to me, best available is probably Trey Benson, the big running back from Florida State, or Cooper Beebe, or Braylon Allen. I just don't think they're positions of need. So I'm going to grab Jordan Travis here as the Steelers' third quarterback. I should have mentioned this too. They signed a quarterback too. Rudolph or Tannehill is a Steeler. They didn't go trade for Fields. I should have mentioned that before we started it, but we didn't go into this draft with Kenny Pickett as the only quarterback on the roster. So I am going to take Travis as the third guy. That leaves us two more picks, 124, which is up now, and 198. Who are some names here we like? I know Isaiah Adams is someone they like, who's a tackle/guard, but I think we've handled that position well enough. I really like Malik Washington, but I don't think we could take a second receiver. Roger Rosengarten is actually very attractive to me as a tackle project. Man, you don't really need a tackle. DJ James is a player I like quite a bit, but he's another corner. I'm not taking a third corner. I just can't do it. But there is a name here that's kind of a bonus prize to me that I'm going to grab and just see what happens. And that's Zach Zinter from Michigan. He's a pure guard, and he probably or possibly would be a first-round pick had he not been injured. And he may not play at all this year, but I think we could afford to redshirt him. Daniels is a free agent after the season. Does it hurt to have someone just waiting in the wings? So I'm taking Zinter there. And then my last pick, I'd really like to go linebacker would be very interesting. Safety would be interesting. I know we signed one of each. I'm also looking at a couple of these running backs that have some interest to me. As our late pick. This is, 6th round pick here. I'm going to grab Jalen Ford, the linebacker out of Texas, and hope he's better than Mark Robinson or is so good that we have to keep him. You know what I mean? So this is what we ended up with. After trading back from 20 to 23, we get a gift and just got the guy I would have taken 20 in J.C. Latham. That's a tremendous pick. Then I went with Keon Coleman, wide receiver out of Florida State. Back-to-back corners and Melton and Phillips. D lineman Mason Smith is a high upside dude. Quarterback Jordan Travis. A guard for tomorrow in Zach Zinter. And then linebacker Jalen Ford. Special teamer / who knows who'll make the team type guy. So there you have it. I will post this on my Twitter timeline as well, at Williamson NFL. I'll include it for the folks at DK to put it in with the YouTube video. Also follow me at Williamson NFL on YouTube. My page is growing quickly. And that's a wrap. Take care.